Good evening and welcome to another edition of Player Profile with me, Dan Cho, also known as Frodam. Tonight we profile Vi from Team Root Gaming, the reigning WCS USA champion and the runner-up to the North American Finals. Vibe is one of the top players not just in North America but also in NASL, and I'm very pleased to present to you our newest edition of Player Profile. What race did you play in Warcraft 3 and how did that translate to playing Zerg, and why did you even pick Zerg?
I played a lot. I played every race. I'd say I played Night Elf the least, but I played a lot of the other races in team games. But in solo, I played a lot of Undead and Human, more so Human than anything. So that's like the thing I really translated from Warcraft 3 to StarCraft 2 was like when I would be Undead and I'd be playing against like a Night Elf, and I'd do a strategy where you go like a lot of ghouls and a lot of gargoyles against like a dryad, whatever. Like it's just like the use of like ghouls and gargoyles reminds me a lot of lings and mutas, and it's just like I was pretty good at using those types of units and microing them, and I felt like that was probably the clearest transition from Warcraft 3 in my opinion to StarCraft 2.
Do you have any tips for any person that wants to improve their LAN performance? We have players that have awesome skill, but for some reason just never able to show it in the tournaments that matter, like Beastie Cutie or even Muslim. These guys are awesome in their perfect settings. How do you translate that comfort zone from home to a big environment tournament where everything's on the line?
I would say it's really hard to do this because I can't even do it myself that well, but every issue you have with pretty much anything, try to forget about all of it when you go to an event, because there's nothing that's going to cripple you more when you're at an event than when you're thinking about a bunch of things that are wrong with, or like in your current situation. Because I've had a few things where like I'll talk to a manager or I'll have just some dispute in some regarding my personal life with something to do with it, you know, just anything, and it'll be on my mind and it'll just be like something to give you stress, or something for you to stress over, I guess, and it'll just like distract you while you're playing, even if you're not necessarily thinking about it at the time. If you're just like stressed out while you're at an event, not only with like nerve issues while you're there trying to perform well, but like if you have other stuff on your plate that's distracting you, then all of that combined is just going to make you underperform when you're at events. And another thing I did too was I put extremely high expectations on myself when I would go to events before. And then I feel like now all I do is I just go to an event to have fun, and then whatever happens, happens. And without having that huge like burden where if I don't win, then I failed, it's a lot easier to play now. Because I would actually go to events before thinking that if I don't win this event right now, or if I don't do something extremely like breakout worthy, and have something to be notarized over for the event, then I'm not gonna like be known in the scene, and everyone's just gonna like bypass me for other people. So I would do that to myself a lot, and then it would really like cripple me because I would go into an event like, and I would already be nervous before it even starts.
Why are Zergs the only good foreigners nowadays? What happened to foreigner Terrans and Protosses? Is there some kind of correlation? Do you guys band together, have secret non-Korean Zerg meetings and try to share secret strategies? What's going on? Why is like you, Scarlet, Nurchio, Stefano, why are you guys the ones rising up? And where does everyone else stand?
It's the patch, man. That's what everybody would say.
Appreciate patch honesty, Zergs. Man.
Patch Zergs. No, that honestly though, like there is some truth to that. Like that patch, I wouldn't say necessarily the queen change is the biggest thing. Like the queen change, it definitely helps against like banling wars, because now your queens can actually pick banlings off a little easier. But the main thing I think it helps with is defending against Terran harass, like when they have Marines or Hellions just poking around. It definitely makes it a lot more manageable to deal with that. But the biggest change from the patch is the Overlord speed. It makes scouting much more effective now and much easier to do. And the fact that you can actually scout a lot easier now, you can actually, like if you scout your opponent and you know what they're doing, then you probably won't lose because you know how to counter properly. So someone has to either like, they have to have some insane micro, or they have to like try and maybe trick you, even though you scouted something, maybe like trick you another way, like do something that's kind of like original and you don't really expect. So that's definitely one factor.
Words of wisdom for any aspiring Zerg players. My last question, Vibe, is who is, in your opinion, one of the best, if not the best, non-Korean player that hasn't been discovered yet, that hasn't had the hype train of Reddit or Team Liquid? Who is yet to hit the spotlight that you think is just incredibly talented, either in North America or even abroad, like in Europe?
I would say Scarlet, but that's kind of gotten to the point now to where that's not true. Like, she's really good, obviously, but she's been kind of hyped so hard now that I couldn't give that for an answer anymore. So if I had to go for like anyone who's still pretty unknown for the most part, I'd have to go with my teammate, and that's Masa, because he is insanely good. His like response time to everything is nearly instant. Like, he responds to everything instantaneously. You can't surprise him, and his just game sense is extremely good, and his micro is really good, and he's just an all-around really good player.
Thank you so much, Dan, for joining us. Hope you have a good time and good luck in the rest of the season.
Thanks.
All right, guys, that was Vibe. Of course, follow him on Twitter, twitter.com/rootvibe. If you want to tap into some of his secrets, maybe he teaches you how to play Zerg really well. Maybe he teaches you how to farm gold in Diablo 3 a little bit more efficiently. But either way, we're really happy to see his success, not just in tournaments, but here in the North American Star League. That does it for this edition of Player Profile. Thank you so much. I'm Frodan. Have a good night.